Have you ever noticed how some women move through a room like they're searching for something the rest of the world can't see? They aren't looking for the loudest guy or the one flashing the most cash. They're scanning for a different kind of energy, a weight, a stillness, a sense of, been there, done that only comes with age. When a woman, especially a younger, high-value woman, starts craving an older man, it's not just a passing phase or some cliché daddy issues thing the internet likes to joke about. It's a deep, psychological hunger for stability in a world that feels like it's spinning out of control. But here's the kicker. She won't just take your word for it. She won't just assume you're the man you claim to be. Because women are intuitive as hell, they play a long game. They use a hidden language of tests to see if you're actually grounded or if you're just a boy in an older man's body. If you felt invisible lately, if you felt like the dating world has moved past you, you need to wake up. You aren't invisible. You're just being audited. Before we dive into the deep end of these psychological traps, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button. If you want to understand the true mechanics of female desire and stop being a spectator in your own life, you're in the right place. Stick around because if you miss these signals, you aren't just losing a girl, you're losing the chance to be seen for who you truly are. Let's get real about why women go for older guys. It's the protector-provider blueprint that's hardwired into their DNA. In a world full of soft guys who can't decide what they want for dinner, let alone where their life is going, an older man represents a fortress. But with that attraction comes a massive amount of skepticism. She's thinking, is he actually wise, or is he just tired? Is he stable, or is he just stuck in his ways? This is where the first master question comes in. She'll look you in the eyes, maybe over a drink or a quiet dinner, and she'll ask, do you spend a lot of time alone? Now, on the surface, this sounds like small talk. It sounds like she's asking about your social life. But psychologically, she's taking a scalpel to your soul. She's checking for two things: emotional independence and social value. If you answer like a guy who's desperate, saying, oh, I hate being alone, I'm always looking for someone to hang out with, you just failed. To her, that smells like neediness. It tells her you're a drifter looking for a woman to fill the holes in your life. But if you answer with a smirk and say, I value my solitude, but I make room for the right people, you just hit the jackpot. You're telling her that you're a complete person. You're showing her that you don't need her to survive, which ironically makes her want to be the one person you choose to spend that precious time with. She's testing to see if you're a king in your own castle or a beggar looking for a place to stay. The second test is even more surgical. It hits at the very core of your masculinity. She'll drop it casually, but don't be fooled. It's a total vibe check. She'll ask, what are you actually looking for these days? Or the slightly more subtle version, where do you see things going for you right now? Most men, especially guys who are feeling the pressure of their age, get defensive here. They think she's asking for a commitment, so they either fold and start promising the world, or they act like cool guys and say they don't care about anything. Both are death sentences. When she asks this, she's not asking for a marriage proposal. She's testing your direction. She wants to know if you have a North Star. An older man without a plan is just a lost kid with gray hair. She craves the feeling of being led by a man who knows exactly where he's standing. If you can answer with absolute clarity, not about her, but about your life, your passions, and your boundaries, she feels an instant hit of emotional safety. She wants to see if you have the internal compass to navigate life's BS. If you tell her, I'm focused on building something that lasts, and I'm only interested in people who add peace to that journey, she doesn't hear arrogance. She hears a man who has standards. She hears a man who won't let her walk all over him. And in the complex psychology of attraction, nothing is more addictive to a woman than a man who can't be easily moved. The reason these two questions hit so hard is because they cut through the dating mask. Anyone can buy a nice suit or drive a fancy car, but you can't fake the emotional weight behind your answers. Women who crave older men are usually old souls themselves, or they've been burned by the chaos of younger guys. They're tired of the games, the ghosting, and the lack of backbone. They want a man who feels like a finished product, not a work in progress. When you understand that her questions are actually an invitation to show your strength, the whole dynamic shifts. You stop trying to please her and start letting her experience your reality. This isn't about being a Sigma male or some internet alpha male nonsense. It's about the raw, unfiltered truth of mature masculinity. She wants to know that if the world catches fire tomorrow, you're the guy who's going to keep his head down and lead the way out. She's testing for that stoic calm. If you react to her questions with anxiety, you're telling her you can't handle her, let alone the world. But if you react with presence, real, grounded presence, you become the only man in the room who matters. Think about the silence that follows her questions. That's the empty space where the real attraction is built. Most men are so afraid of silence that they start rambling, trying to fill the air with words to make themselves look better. Don't do that. When she asks you if you're alone or what you're looking for, give her the gift of a pause. Look at her. Let the question hang there for a second. It shows you aren't afraid of her judgment. It shows you're calculating, thoughtful, and in control of your own narrative. This is the USA accent of dating. Direct, unapologetic, and cut to the chase. You aren't here to audition for a role in her life. You're the director checking to see if she fits the script of yours. That's the mindset shift that takes a man from 100 views to 2,000 views in the real world of relationships. You have to be the high-value asset. You have to realize that your time, your wisdom, and your stability are the most expensive things in the room. In the end, female psychology isn't a mystery to be solved. It's a rhythm to be felt. A woman who craves an older man is looking for a sanctuary. She's looking for a man who has mastered his own emotions so he can handle hers. Those two questions, the one about your solitude and the one about your direction, are her way of checking the foundation of the house before she decides to move in. If the foundation is cracked, if you're hollow inside, she'll know within 5 minutes. But if you've done the work, if you're grounded in your purpose, and if you're comfortable in your own skin, you won't even have to try. You become a magnet. You become the man who doesn't just attract women, but attracts the right kind of woman. Stop worrying about your age and start leaning into the power that comes with it. The world is full of noise, but a man who speaks with intention and lives with direction is a game changer. Don't just listen to this, use it. Watch how they look at you when you stop trying to prove yourself and start just being yourself. That's where the real magic happens. That's the signal you've been missing. Don't miss it again. Listen, let's get one thing straight before we cut the noise. Your age isn't some kind of expiration date. It's your damn superpower. But a superpower is useless if you don't know how to handle the heat. We've talked about the tests. We've broken down her psychological scalpel. But the real question is, are you actually ready to be the man she's looking for? Most guys my age are walking around like ghosts, invisible and defeated, just waiting for the clock to run out. They get hit with those two questions, about their solitude and their direction, and they start sweating. They start acting like thirsty teenagers. Don't be that guy. When you stand your ground, when you look her in the eyes and show her that you are the captain of your own ship, the entire world shifts. You stop being a choice, and you start being a necessity. A woman who craves an older man is tired of the chaos. She's had enough of the boys who live for the likes and the temporary thrills. She's looking for a sanctuary, a fortress, a man who feels like home but looks like a storm. If you can pass those tests with that quiet, USA-style grit, no cap, just pure intention, she won't just fall for you, she'll respect you. And in a woman's world, respect is the ultimate aphrodisiac. If this message is hitting you right in the gut, if you're feeling that fire wake up inside you for the first time in years, then you need to be part of this brotherhood. Hit that subscribe button right now. Don't let this be just another video you scroll past. Join us, because we're not just talking about dating here. We're talking about reclaiming your throne in a world that's trying to tell you you're irrelevant. Subscribe, stay sharp, and let's show them exactly what a mature man is capable of. Think about this tonight. The next time she asks you what you're looking for, she isn't checking your bank account. She's checking your soul. She's looking for a reason to let her guard down and finally be a woman in the presence of a real man. Are you going to give her that reason, or are you going to keep drifting? The tests are coming, and now you have the cheat codes. Don't waste them. Most men fail because they're afraid to be seen. You? You're going to be seen, you're going to be heard, and you're going to be wanted. That's the difference between being a senior citizen and being a statesman. So take a deep breath, stop the second guessing, lean into the silence, lean into your solitude, and when you move, move with a purpose that makes the ground shake. You've got the wisdom, you've got the scars, and now you've got the psychological edge. The game hasn't changed, the players just got younger and weaker. It's time for the pro to step back onto the field. I see you, and I know exactly what you're capable of. Don't let her down, and more importantly, don't let yourself down. We're just getting started. I'll see you in the next one. Stay grounded.